think a lot of people think that the most athletic guy is going to play on the field.
Or the strongest arm,
all that stuff.
6'5", 230.
Quarterback, especially quarterback, all that matters is getting the ball to the right guy at the right time. It doesn't matter.
Those are the most athletic guys.
It doesn't necessarily matter what it looks like. And that's what really made me stand out when I was at Boston College and got Scott Loeffler to believe in me and ultimately take me to Bowling Green, live out my dream of being a Division I starting quarterback for 3 seasons.
Boys, they're the athletes that are great talents and those that have this incredible, I will not be denied mindset. Tom Brady comes to mind. I think the difference between is slim between those that are good players that sit on the bench and those that are all-stars. And I think the difference is mental, and I think it's mindset. Thoughts?
For me personally, I was always undersized. I was a late bloomer. The only way for me to get on the field was to outwork the person next to me, and that came with, a genuine desire first to get on the field. I never had anyone who believed in me outside my inner circle. You, of course, my brothers, and a close, circle of friends. I think that kind of perpetuated myself into really like getting into the gym, the film room, really understanding what to do on the football field was the only way for me to play. And in today's game, that's all that matters at the elite level, right? These quarterbacks that are great. Tom Brady talks about it all the time on when he's on the air, right? It's that next step, and
that's what's missing today too.
Absolutely.
Well, I think we all grew up in your household. Son of former USC All-American quarterback Paul McDonald. The amount of times we've heard that.
Son of, brother of.
That's your middle name, right?
Son of, brother of.
Michael, son of, Paul McDonald. McDonald.
I remember being in youth sports, and after the game, everyone goes to the pizza parlor, and you do the thing. The kids around. I remember kids going up to you with like pizza plates and getting your autograph because the parents.
You remember that?
I remember that because the parents were like, Paul McDonald, he played in the NFL. And to us, you were always just dad with all your dadisms and all the things that GameChange is all about. It's this embodiment of your beliefs and your experiences. And you having lived with that, you were always the hardest worker. You were like, and you were wired that way. You were, I don't care if you tell me I can't do it, I'm going to do it 1,000,000 times until I can. And that wasn't my makeup, really.
No.
It was not.
The cool thing is you guys are all different.
Yeah.
All different.
Well, I would run through a brick wall to get something done.
Where'd that come from?
Middle brother.
Yeah, middle
Kind of a hard
brother
ass,
syndrome.
I guess.
Getting picked on, beat up. What? You didn't beat him up too much, did you?
I dressed him up in football. I mean, we were 5 years difference, right? So when I was playing youth sports, 10, 11, 12, I'd take the old pads, I'd put them on him, and we'd go in the front yard, and I would finally get to like hit somebody and win.
Because it was always hitting you.
It was always hitting me. It was always bigger than me.
But you were the best at safety in high school because you would never. Did he ever tackle anybody high?
He's an ankle biter, but it worked.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he had about 9
What is
picks
the goal of tackling? The goal of tackling is
down.
to get them on the ground.
Yeah.
You can't run without your legs.
You never played defense.
No.
Growing up, I was skinny. It's like, my freshman year, I was like 145 pounds soaking wet. No one thought I should be playing tackle football.
Your nickname was, didn't Sorelli, the strength coach, give you Bubble Boy, the nickname?
Oh yeah, he did. I forgot about that.
Yeah, because no.
Okay, well, I
I
had a snowboarding accident my freshman year, kind of a freak accident.
No one wanted you to get hurt.
Yeah, and then my sophomore year, JV game, last game of the season, I broke my collarbone.
Right.
I always had really good accuracy, and
Yes.
again, to my earlier point, I knew where to go with the ball. But I didn't have physical attributes. I think that came later. I finally grew like my freshman, sophomore year in college.
But you would put in all the work to develop the foundation.
Absolutely.
To when that happened, you were ready.
And I got on the field because that kind of foundation of me working hard, and then I finally grew.
I think the players on the team saw that. They wanted, and you became, well, you're a natural leader anyway. And it's like, you're just going to do it, and people are going to follow you. So I think that helped immensely, even though you were, quote unquote, undersized and all that.
Yeah, but I hated being called skinny.
I know.
So like, I absolutely hate it. I still hate it today.
But you and I are very, very similar in that I have the same story. I had to work harder. I never went to the beach when I was in Bishop Amat High School. I was throwing routes to receivers, and I worked on my accuracy. I worked on my footwork. I wasn't the fastest guy. You were faster than I was, but I wasn't the fastest guy. And this guy over here, he just
things came naturally for him.
Came naturally him,
Not
and he
for
didn't
me.
like the practice. Is it because he didn't like it or he didn't want to?
It wasn't very fun.
So
and it wasn't consequential either. Like
Yeah.
like when to me the game got fun when it was close, when it was tight. I never had like the killer instinct to step on their throat and go like finish. Like I wanted the drama. Like I wanted the back and forth. And when it was the hardest and the brightest, that's when I was the most zoned in and focused. When it wasn't, I would kind of float around and be a little bit aloof and make some silly plays.
Let's hear from the young kid.
Right.
Let's hear from the
Let
young
the
kid.
older brothers talk first.
Yeah, I know. This is the story of your life, right?
Yeah, I'm used to this.
What do you have to say?
I
You
wait
got some things to
patiently
say?
for my time to talk. I think that, obviously you made it to the NFL, you're a great athlete, but I don't think any of us really had any physical attributes that made us stand out from day one. So we all kind of had to find our way in our
if
groove
anyone,
on
you
how to get
had
to the
you had the
field.
most.
You had the most.
I had the most,
You
but
did.
even then, compared to the rest of the country, I wasn't.
You were like a star in youth sports.
Well,
Slasher in basketball. You just like fly down the court and no one can catch you.
I was a good athlete. I was like the top quarterback coming out, played all the sports, basketball, baseball, and I took a different journey than you guys. I went to Mater Dei because they were better at football, and everything was so easy for me growing up until I get to Mater Dei. And I think that's really when I grew, when I started to face some adversity, some challenges, and become the best version of myself. That was kind of the first step. Second step was in college in Bowling Green, but
Well, let's dive into Mater Dei a little bit, because you had a couple injuries. Like you had a chance actually as a sophomore to be the starter, and then you had a freak accident where you broke your jaw, which had nothing to do with anything other than being stupid and goofy. Sorry. But then you missed that boat, and then you had your opportunity your junior year. Mm-hmm. You go out, you win the starting job. They had the young kid, JT Daniels was there, and you competed with him. You won the job. Then you break your wrist the second series
second game
of the second game after you're 1-0, and then you're out basically for the rest of the regular season on the sidelines. How did you deal? Did that motivate you? Did that were you in a funk? How did you deal with that during that time? I remember you.
Yeah.
Okay, tell the story.
Well, at first, definitely in a funk. I'm like, am I really cut out for this? Is this what I'm supposed to be doing?
Mm-hmm.
All those thoughts are like your first instinct to come to mind. And credit you guys and you. They used to wake up with me.
It was him.
And you.
It was his idea.
I think we all ended up doing it.
But we did it
at some
together.
point before school. I'm in a cast. They would come and work out with me at the Rock at like 6 a.m. every day. Kind of got me back in my groove. I started to find myself again. I became a much better version of myself. I was pissed off in a good way to prove that, yes, I am good enough.
You got
to
faster,
play
more athletic
at the
during that
college
time.
level.
When you
absolutely.
got back on the field that same year, and they put
Yeah.
a package in for you
Yeah.
as like running
Like a
dual
zone
threat,
read
zone
guy.
read,
Yeah, which I wasn't at
which
all.
I
but
ran in college, by the way. not the fastest guy.
Yeah, you did.
At all.
You did great. You did great.
I had
Yes,
90 yards rushing against Texas in Austin. For 100.
90?
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
Let's check the stat sheet on that one.
If you take the sacks out, 90 yards.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's when Mac Brown came up to you and said, after the game, and said at halftime he gave his team the speech, right? And said,
Well,
there's only one guy that we got to stop, and that's number 12, and that was you.
Well, I gave him problems in the first half.
You were like completing your first 14 passes or something?
19.
19.
Yeah, close though.
Dang it.
Yeah,
Dang
19. And then he told the guys, at halftime, we got to get after him. So I unleashed the dogs on you.
Thanks a lot.
And I'm like, yeah, I noticed.
I felt it.
I noticed. So I felt like I got hit by a truck.
Well, you started though. Let's go back to, and we'll get to you in a second, Michael. But you started at Arizona, preferred walk-on, because you had aspirations and you wanted to play in what was then the Pac-12. But that didn't work out at Arizona for you, right? Did it? And,
Nope.
And then so that was, you could classify that as maybe you failed at that. How did you respond to that, and what happened after that?
I knew it wasn't going to work out. Obviously, that was Nick Foles' first year. He actually didn't start. He didn't win the starting job. It was Matt Scott who started the first 3 or 4 games of the season. And I knew Nick was the better guy. No offense, Matt, Matt Scott. He was an incredible athlete, but he didn't waver. He stuck to it. So I looked at my time at Arizona as not a failure. It was an obstacle that I needed to overcome. I needed to kind of reevaluate and take a different path to ultimately accomplish my dream of playing Division I football. Not just playing, but I wanted to be a starting quarterback.
So you had that. That was your intention. That was your vision.
That was
what you wanted to see.
That's what I always
So how
wanted to do.
how did you get there?
So I came back, played at St. Anna College.
You took a step backwards.
Took a step backwards to reevaluate what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
We went to a number of different schools. Thought about going to Chapman, which would have been a great, school. Obviously,
But that wouldn't have allowed you to realize your dream.
No, because they're D3, great program, great school, local, but. The ultimate thing I needed to do was go play at a JC. At the time, they didn't have the portal.
The meeting with Coach Jones, who's the head coach, we love Coach Jones, and we're in this meeting and you guys weren't there, but Andrew's got, he's you were in a splint or something like that?
I had a splint. I had a broken right radius on my throwing arm.
On your throwing arm. And this is how many weeks before, maybe a couple months before camp starts or something like that?
Yeah,
maybe?
this is like July.
And we're like, Coach, we can do it. We're your guy. And you were saying that, and Coach Jones is like, okay, I'll give you a chance maybe.
I never lack confidence. Yeah. That's I think probably my greatest. Well, again, my mind. Confidence is part of that, obviously. So,
where'd that come from? Where'd the confidence come from?
Well, so during my reset, I think you helped me substantially.
Went to the desert.
We went to the desert. We had our, retreat.
We did.
And you were
kind
going
of freaked
through,
out a little bit.
You were going through some things yourself.
Because I had done it. I had done it maybe a year before or something like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the one thing you asked me to do was have an open mind, which I did. But we were meditating. We were doing all these different things.
The candles lit. We're meditating. So
I'm like
Andrew. I mean, think about it. Andrew's like
19, 20 years old.
What was going through your mind when we were doing all that?
It was weird, but I needed something like that.
Yeah.
It was the first time I think I truly dove inward and kind of looked at exactly what I knew what I wanted to do, but there was always something missing, and there's a lot of things I had to work through. Everyone's different. Everyone has their own stuff that they got to work through, and credit to you. You really helped me navigate through those things that I needed to
balled
overcome.
out at Santa Ana College, become the starter.
Well, I didn't get this job at first.
That's right.
The wisdom teeth too, other than that.
Yeah.
So I busted my butt, and I didn't really have much of an off season because my fractured radius, and I was 1B. So they named this other guy the starting quarterback, Marcus Mraz. They named him 1A. And I was really let down. I was really bummed out. And I also had a wisdom teeth procedure for the first week. I had this weird emergency infection.
Right.
And I remember I was up in the booth week 1, and our starter didn't perform well. We were playing against Fullerton, our crosstown rival, and our offensive coordinator at the end of the game, throws his headset down, and he looks at me. He's like, you better be ready to effing play.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
this is my shot. And you know, I kind of look at a guy like Tom Brady, right? You have few opportunities in football to capitalize.
Right.
And that was my chance. Again, mindset, it's determination, it's capitalizing opportunities. And I think I threw 3 touchdowns that first game. I thought it was sweet. I came out in a visor and spat at my cleats.
That wasn't that sweet.
The funny thing was I got hit so hard on
that's
like the
right.
second series that my contact flew out and it hit the visor. Luckily,
Stuck to the visor?
because the trainers didn't have my contacts. Luckily, I told Mom, "Hey, bring an extra set of contacts."
Oh, moms.
Of course, Mom.
We had to weave Mom in, I know,
But-
because she's special.
I think your mindset comes from your own inner belief. And when you're growing up, when you're a child, that's the role of parents, I think, a lot of times, is to pull that inner voice out of your child, to give them the belief that they can do whatever they want. And I credit you for this, because I believed I can go into USC and be the starting quarterback as a walk-on. When Carson Palmer just won the Heisman Trophy and we're like number 3 in the country, and they haven't picked a guy yet. You know, you got this like Matt Leinart guy and Matt Castle and like
John David Booty.
Norm Chow and all these guys. You got J.D. Booty coming in, you know, graduated in high school a year early to come be the starter. And
Gatorade Player of the Year.
and I'm going in there like, no, I'm going to beat these guys.
Yeah.
And that's, again, what you have to have as a quarterback. Like, you got to believe that you're going to be the best guy. But the inner belief and the preparation, that combination develops confidence, right? And we had that at home, you know, from the start of our sports career. And it wasn't because you got to believe in yourself because you got to do these things. Everyone thinks that, like, gosh, what was it like growing up in a house with Paul McDonald as you know, the quarterback? Of course you played quarterback. It's like, well, he never once said that that's what we had to do, right? It's just something that we all chose that we wanted to do because of all the intangible skills that being a great quarterback gives you, right? The leadership qualities. I love the ability of having the ball every play, right? Like, it's your game and you get to make the decisions. You get to be a big proponent in the outcome of those games, which I loved. I loved all sports because I love playing the game. So at the core of it, when you're playing your best, you're playing the game. All these college guys, all these NFL guys, there's a lot of things that pull at them in a bunch of different ways. The best ones love it because they love the game.
Well, let me put an exclamation point on that. We talk about belief. Belief is like massively important to pull through life, not just sports, right? But what keeps you going is the love. What keeps you going is the love. And when you love it, you'll move through any failure, any defeat, any issue you had in life.